Hi, good morning, everyone. We welcome viewers watching us live. I'm Sahil Mathur, and I have with us a panel of students and faculty members to help us out in discussing the admissions for undergraduate programs offered at the Cluster Innovation Center, University of Delhi. I have with me Dr. Sujita Paul Kumar. Dr. Sujita Paul Kumar is a coordinator of humanities at the Cluster Innovation Center. She's completed her postdoctoral projects from Department of English, Mathwada University, Institute of Advanced Studies, Shimla, Cambridge University, England, University of Toronto in Canada, to name a few. She's She is an eminent poet and writer. I welcome you to the webinar on undergraduate programs offered at
Thank you.
Innovation Center, University of Delhi. I have with Paul Kumar Nitin Agarwal, who's joining in from IIT Bombay, Major of Humanities, and he's working there at IIT Bombay on high performance computing. Nitin, welcome. University, Institute of Advanced Studies, Shimla, Cambridge University, England, University of Toronto in Canada, to name a few. Then I would like to welcome Madhulika Mukherjee. Madhulika Mukherjee is an avid reader and an excellent programmer.
Thank you.
She's working at the MSME program that is run at Cluster Innovation Center. Madhulika, welcome. Nitin Agarwal, joining in from IIT Bombay, Center of Humanities, and the next I have on my screen is Tarun and Anurag, who are joining in. Welcome. They are senior students of B.Tech Innovation with Maths and Information Technology. Hi, Tarun and Anurag. Then on the screen, I have Akshay Kunteta. Akshay Kunteta is a student who is junior to me and has achieved far more in terms of practicing achievements. Akshay, welcome to the webinar. Tarun and Anurag for joining in. Welcome. So let me go straight through to understand what is Cluster Innovation Center and what is important essentially because it's a new institution. And before I do that, I have Dr. Shobha Bagai joining in. I am not too sure if we can see her screen. Dr. Shobha, can you hear us? Hello? I suppose she's not able to hear us. Never mind. We can introduce her in the later part of the session. Let me go straight to understanding what has been the genesis behind creating this innovation center at Delhi University. And let's go to Dr. Sukrita, who could probably answer this question for us. Dr. Sukrita. you, ma'am. Um, I'm not too sure if we're going right with the technicalities, and I want the viewers to know this, that we are not really situated in the CIC campus right now because of certain security reasons. And I have with me Dr. Shobha joining in now. Morning, ma'am.
Good morning,
Uh,
Sahil.
Dr. Shobha Bagai is a PhD from IIT Delhi, and she's been associated with the famous Mathematical Science Foundation. She's worked with JM College, IIT Bombay, SPM College prior to joining CIC, and she's an expert in fluid dynamics. Ma'am, I want to know from you as well that what has been the genesis of CIC? Where do you feel that? Where do you feel that CIC really fits in as a center, as a place which offers certain programs for Delhi University?
Sahil, could you please repeat your question once again?
Yeah, ma'am. So my question to you is that what has been the genesis of CIC? What has been the reason why CIC was created, and what has been its objective so far?
The objective of CIC was very simple. The idea was to relate the theory work that you do along with the practical application of whatever you are learning. So, the pedagogy at CIC that involves your 40% of the theory work and 60% is what we call is that the hands-on work, practicals, projects, internships. So the students at CIC, they undergo an intensive internship program. They have intensive projects under each paper. You have intensive projects, what we call it as the summer projects. So the whole idea of creating the courses at the Cluster Innovation Center has been the students should be able to relate the theory that they are studying in the classroom with their practical problems.
Right. And could you give us an example of some of the activities that are going in as far as this is related, both at the science and technology front as well as the humanities front?
Uh, I'll give you a very simple example. If you recall, the first two semesters were what you learned the basic papers in mathematics. One was your calculus, and the other was your differential equations, right? So there was this project, if you remember, that we had picked up, in which we had all gone to a trip to Jagatpur area, right? Sahil, are you getting me?
Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely, ma'am. I'm following you.
Okay. So you recall the trip that we went to Jagatpur. So when we had visited Jagatpur, we had identified certain problems which was related to the society. And there, what we had seen was that the students of other villagers at Jagatpur, they faced the problem of one was the water crisis, the other was the transportation, then the students who were studying in a school, and the students, with the help of the technology, they had picked up these problems. They had looked into the problem of the water crisis. Few of you, your colleagues, you had developed a method of a good transportation in Jagatpur. You, along with your other colleagues, had gone to the schools, to give lessons to the students. So this is one
Right.
example where you have the technology, the society, and the knowledge all getting integrated together.
Right, ma'am. How about we go to Madhulika and Latisha, who just joined us. Latisha, Madhulika, are you there? Not too sure. Okay, let's go to Tarun and Anurag who are waiting for us. Um, Tarun and Anurag, what do you feel as far as what Dr. Shobha Bagai said? Can you just elaborate on what exactly you did as far as your project at Jagatpur? I don't think. Uh, I think there's some technical glitch. So the only one left. I'm coming to you, Akshay. The savior is the situation right now. Again, as I told, one second, Akshay, I need to make a point here. Um, since we were scheduled to make the webinar and conducted live at the CIC campus, unfortunately, because of security reasons, that was not possible. And all I have to say for this is that right now, unbelievably, we are at the residence of the director of Cancer Innovation Center, Professor Madan Chaturvedi, who also had to join us, but he could not because of an academic council meeting that was there. And if I can probably show you the views of how the webinar is being conducted at his residence right now. And this and I don't feel ashamed to be able to say that, because this is what is CIC. Everyone in life really faces problems, and it's only when you work as a team. And Professor Chaturvedi has shown extreme leadership qualities when he has allowed us to sit at his home, disturb his family, but conduct the webinar whatsoever. So going on to Akshay. Akshay, you've been greatly interested in cryptography, and you've worked with DRDO as such. My question to you is that what has Cluster Innovation Center given you in terms of value? Hello. And I don't feel ashamed to say that. Yeah, I think there is some audio again, as I read it, there are critical cases and in the meanwhile, since Shobha is coming, since she is going to attend very soon, the kind of messes and issues we're facing right now. So let me go to Dr. Shobha. Ma'am, you'll be teaching all this while, and we are the fast year are in the third year of the program, and we see the light from the stage. Uh, how do you see us expanding? How do you see us evolving over these 3 years in college?
Okay, Sahil, there was just a little bit that I could hear, but I think I could make out what the question is. And as you rightly said, that's what the Cluster Innovation Center is all about. Making the best of the available infrastructure and make the best out of it. The students I have seen evolve themselves when they come to us, right after the class finished. Students are now more of a get together gathering. You have a given date at a given syllabus, have a given examination to give. Now here at Cluster Innovation Center, the pedagogy that we are trying to evolve is, yes, there is a certain theory that you need to learn, but all the students now are at a threshold of their adulthood. Either they are on the left hand side of their 18 years or on the right hand side of the 18 years, right? But they are all at
Right.
the threshold of their 18 years, Now, as a student, as an educational institute, as a teacher, our role basically now becomes more to guide you rather than to catch hold of your hands. And hand holding has to be left now. The students need to be told, they need to carve their own, create their own path. And when you walk on that as a teacher, our duty basically becomes that if you are going astray, then we make you come back to the right path. But at Cluster Innovation Center, we do encourage that a student does a lot of self-study, and that does require a lot of self-discipline, both from the student's point of view, and yes, as a teacher, even I am more responsible that I need to do that. There has to be a self-study, there has to be a self-motivation. We try
Right.
to give you a free hand, to do things on your own. And that is why at Cluster Innovation Center, if you would have noticed, we don't have what we call it as a lab. There are no set experiments. We
Right.
have what we call it as an engineering kitchen. The apparatus is there, and you try out new hands to do the experiments. If you remember, you and Anurag, you both did a
Yes.
certain experiment, which was done the first time. And if Anurag is
Right.
audible, I would want Anurag or you to speak about that experiment to all our viewers and the listeners.
Anurag.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, yes,
Am
you
I,
are perfect.
okay. So, me and Sahil, we came up with a very unique idea, and that also accidentally. We were doing an experiment for measuring the resilience of a bouncing object, a ball.
Right.
So we realized when we plotted the graph for the audio file that we recorded, when the ball bounces on the floor, we realized that we could use the adjacent peaks of the graph to determine the time period between the two bounces. And we
Right.
extended it to some extent, and then we saw that we could get a result that was within the permissible error limit, that was around 4.78%. So, and that has not been done before. So, since we are still developing on it, but the idea is quite unique and it's interesting. Yeah.
Yes, in fact, Anurag, I don't know if you remember, I spoke to him yesterday about this project, and while I was interning with one of my mentors in an institution, I realized that I could really come up with a new algorithm that would be even robust from what we have developed so far. And I wanted to work with Anurag on that front. So probably we'll do that after the webinar. So these are the kind of projects that these are the kind of approach that we've developed. I want to go to Tarun to understand. Tarun heads probably the most technologically advanced projects in terms of robotics and embedded systems. Yes, you do. So Tarun, talk about your projects in general, in the sense that how you have evolved in terms of your projects over the course of years in CIC.
uh, we actually at CIC we started off with doing weird things. So in the first semester we kind of just made a design of a roller coaster and tried to just materialize it using wires, which is one of the weirdest thing I could even think while I was in 12th to do. Uh, from the roller coaster, we have just now come to making small prototypes of quadcopters, uh, object detectors. We did participate in a competition at NASA, and we did design the control system for that bot. So there has been a great, what I could say is advancement in terms of technology that we have actually gained throughout the journey at CIC.
Right. Okay, now I shift to Dr. Suchita. Ma'am, you've been mentoring students all this while in CIC. Uh, how do you think that students have evolved over this period? institutions evolve, they grow up in terms of infrastructure, but how do you think the student, when he comes to college the first day and today after 3 years or 2 years of education at Cluster Innovation Center, how that student has changed?
Yeah, I think our education here, the way we are conducting the whole process of teaching and learning, rests upon some very basic points which are to be seen as to how education is different here, right? So if we are really putting our finger on that, and if we really go into this whole concept of how we are looking at evolving senses and melting boundaries, which happens to be one of our not just slogans but something that we practice in a very significant way, I think I would like to put my finger on how the process of unlearning had to take place initially for a little while for the student,
Right.
because everybody comes here, not just the student, actually, even for the teacher, because we come with a certain baggage, a certain kind of a history, each one that comes to Cluster Innovation Center. And the idea is to deconstruct that, to try to look at it all anew and see how knowledge can really connect up with the actual living and going out into the society, as I was saying earlier. So now, what does that mean? We're looking at transdisciplinarity, we're looking at problem solving in a big way. So I can see that students initially get terribly a little confused, and I like that because all creativity ultimately comes out of chaos. And I think we need to understand that nature of chaos
Right.
that happens in the mind. And I like to see students getting very confused. If they don't get confused, I'm upset. You know.
Right.
So when out of that confusion in the first semester or the second semester onwards, you begin to see a new person evolving.
Right.
You see a new sensibility coming up. You see how disciplines, the boundaries are kind of melting. You see that it's a whole new way of teaching and learning that is happening. So pedagogy, in fact, goes totally in the backdrop in terms of conventional pedagogy, and we begin to see how there is a collective learning that is happening. And I would like to focus on that because collective learning also means that all the projects that we are doing are happening in groups. And as they are happening in groups, you begin to see that just the project itself, in terms of, okay, how, for instance, in humanities, you're looking at social problems as well. And if only one person begins to work, it's going to fail. And also, sometimes two people are working, two people are not working, then they have to know that they need to negotiate with each other, negotiate also through art of communication to the outside of the boundaries of the classroom. So if all of that is happening, there are new dimensions. There is a holistic learning that is happening. You also begin to understand that you need to dwell on relationships in order to communicate with each other. So there is a technology of the mind also that needs to be attended to. So if we talk about engineering, we are not only talking about engineering which is to do with machines, but also with the human mind. And I see that happening. I see that our senior students, for instance, and the others are on the track as well, that they are beginning to understand that they need to engage with the idea of knowledge differently.
Right.
And how? Through application of knowledge that gets created, and there is no end to it, is another point. So there's a dynamism that needs to be realized.
Right.
And it's that we focus on.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Uh, okay, Nitin, you've been waiting for quite some time now. Nitin joins us from IIT Bombay, where he's working. Nitin, you've really applied knowledge to the best possible use. There are certain projects that are so debatable that a lot of people are really challenging you to bring that forward. One of them is trying to use technology in legal processes. Could you just elaborate how you have changed in terms of your approach towards projects, how you have evolved from your first year till so far? Nitin, you are not audible, I suppose. Nitin, being lost Nitin here. Um, okay, so now let us just talk about certain aspects of the institution itself. Uh, we as an institution are focusing to try and be an integrating platform for academia, for industry, for slum clusters. So where I really want to know, and I want the viewers to know this, that how exactly CIC does initiate itself and participate itself in collaborative work and research with other institutions. So probably we could just know that which are the institutions that CIC really works with, and what have been certain projects, if there have been any, with any of them.
Yeah, I think this is significant to note that there are a lot of institutions that we know both in technology, in terms of corporate sector, in terms of NGOs, in terms of many other institutions, learning and research institutions, where collaboration can happen, and we realize that, for instance, IGNCA, they are it's a huge institution which has really created archives in a very big way, in terms of oral literatures, in terms of ancient texts, and analysis and performances and so on. So our students, for instance, have gone and tied up and we signed an MOU with IGNCA, Indira Gandhi Center for the Arts, wherein our students have done tremendous amount of work in collaboration with several departments from there. And this is to do with historical tourism and in the historical mapping as well. So there are projects. In fact, this is wonderful that undergraduate students are ending up preparing brochures which are not just thin brochures, but in fact, I would like to show this. For instance, this is a big booklet that has come out, which is the work of, it's called The Rover, and it is really covering modern age and heritage. So 1857 monuments are being worked upon, and with whose help? It is IGNCA. Similarly, with Gandhi Smriti, we worked out a project on the art of communication, for instance, the Gandhian form of non-violent communication. And there are DRDO and there are other organizations which have really pitched in a big way with us. So we are collaborating, and our students are actually going to these organizations with, for instance, Prayas, where they're looking at children in conflict with law. So there is psychology, need for psychology, understanding of human behavior there. There is understanding of legal matters. There is understanding of use of technology by way of working out the data, the survey that is being done. So there are issues which the older, more experienced people are able to really shell out and give to the younger lot. And sometimes the ideas from the younger people, are rejuvenating for the older, more experienced people. And the coming together has been fantastic.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would want to go to Dr. Shobha. Ma'am, could you talk about certain partnerships on maths and information technology front that you would want the viewers to know?
The students for the past 3 years have been regularly going to the RDO labs. In fact, the students are doing a wonderful job at the DRDO labs. Akshay, who is with one of us, he has done a paper on cryptography. Anurag has been there, and I think they have just completed 1 full year with one of the labs. You yourself have gone to a DRDO lab to work on the one of the project. Nitin, who is attached to us, Madhulika, who is attached to us, all these students have worked with the DRDO, different various DRDO labs. The students regularly also go to the National Innovation Foundation, which is at Ahmedabad, and there they look at the various ideas that have come up. Then the students have also been associated with the Bhabha Atomic Research Center, which was at Visakhapatnam. Again, I think on the panel we have Anurag and Tarun, who were there last year, and we had marvelous feedback, in fact, from the mentors over there. The mentors over there were so happy with the students who worked there. The work culture that the students had developed, that they were quite amazed that the second year students, could do this type of a research work. The other organizations are IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi, then IIM Bangalore, FMS Delhi University, then you have the NBRC Gurgaon, and I think there are various others which maybe I don't remember offhand, but the list is there, I think, on our website. So these are the organizations where our students have gone. And what I would like to comment, it's not just the work that they have done, but the feedback that we have got from these organizations is the work culture and the way the students have been developed over here to do work just in their first year or the second year of the college. So that's quite commendable.
So let me go to Nitin. Nitin, are you? Can you hear us? Hello. But we can't hear you, I think. No, I'm sorry, you're not audible. Okay, let me go to Akshay. As Dr. Shobha said, that you've been doing really good work, and you at this age you have academic work to present. So can you just talk about that briefly? What you have done at DRDO? Akshay, you aren't audible either. Go ahead. Go ahead. Hello. No. Okay, let me go to Anurag and Tarun for now. Tarun, Anurag, are you audible? Can you just test it for me, please? Great.
Are you?
So, both of you have worked at the Bhabha Atomic Research Center at Visakhapatnam, and I think your mentors were really recommended your work, and they were amazed to see such an academic and research work from second year, third year students. So, can you tell what exactly you did there, and how was your experience at the Bhabha Atomic Research Center?
They actually are working on a very ambitious project titled Electromagnetic Accelerator. So what they do is they use electromagnetic induction for generating very high speeds objects. They just eject projectiles at very high velocities, so that they can test the changing properties of materials during impacts. Okay. So what we did was we joined them and we learned what they were doing. We understood the process, and then we helped them develop it more. Some of the things that we devised were, we made a B probe that is used to measure magnetic field of any area that has magnetic field lines. We also, Tarun will explain it more. He worked on.
Yeah, I actually worked on calculating the speed of the projectile just using a camera. Okay. So we had a high-speed camera and we used it to measure the speed of the object, which was traveling at around 300 meters per second. So working at such high precision, that's the kind of experience that we got there.
Right. Okay, so I'll just go through a rapid fire for all of you. This is basically for all the students who are wanting to appear for the entrance exam at CIC programs. In particular, the B.Tech Innovation, since we're moving on the innovation track for now. What are the kind of opportunities do you really look for after completing your 4 years at CIC? Anurag and Tarun.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, what I'm saying is that what are the kind of opportunities do you look for yourself? What are your expectations after you complete your 4-year program?
Okay, so if we talk of gaining experience and skills, we have developed quite a good number of skills, because the unique point of studying here is we are mentored, we are not taught. So we learn things of our own, and if we have a problem, we approach a people. That inculcates in us a sense of an aptitude for learning things very fast. So that is a good thing, and of course, and to talk about the uh, prospects in future, you can go for higher studies certainly. Some of us are opting for that, and certainly like for MS or for GMAT or something like that. But the best part, the most important thing is that don't fear facing new things. And Tarun, he has been doing some different projects, and all of us, in fact, all of us, we are assigned some very new things, new problems, and we are asked to solve them. That is how that instills in us a feeling of confidence to face new things. That is the best thing.
Right. Okay. Before I come to Tarun, I am now in the other room at Professor Chaturvedi's residence, and I have with me Madhulika Mukherjee. If I was not able to introduce her well, she's an avid reader and an extremely good programmer. She, she has mentored most of us as far as writing skills is concerned. The next I have is Latisha. Latisha,
Thanks, Sahil. I am personally interested in entrepreneurship and in a particular program of DUCIC Business Incubation, which was launched along with the Ministry of MSME. We students are given opportunities to start our own businesses, our own startups, and there we have me and three of my friends. We've come up with a business idea, so we're trying to take that forward. It will begin from September up till September 2015. So that is what we plan to take forward, and I think it is a really good opportunity for us CICians, in the sense that we are given the opportunity to get funds from the ministry and incubate our idea and take it forward up to completion to make a commercial product out of something that we are trying to implement. And Latisha is also part of that, so she'll speak about it.
Apart from that, in order to develop a culture of entrepreneurship at our college, CIC initiated a program called Lean Launchpad, where students from first, second, and third year participated. And hence, we conceived the startup idea, like the second year students and first year students conceived a startup idea in just at a very premature age. In fact, in this program, like in Lean Launchpad program, various people from other corporate worlds were invited to give us lectures and to provide us a good amount of exposure.
okay. Can you really talk about your about your evolution in terms of your skill sets at CIC? So, from what I understand, Latisha and Madhulika, you do two different personalities in the sense that you've been really oriented towards computer science, and you've been oriented towards economics, management, and finance. Ironically, both are in the same program, and fortunately, both are offered. Both have an option of taking up their options, their choices in life, and pursue them in the same degree possibly. So at one side, if you can talk about the opportunities in CIC for people interested in computer science and electronics, and then I would want to come to Latisha of opportunities in terms of academic and intellectual stimulation on the economics and management front. Madhulika first.
Well, in CIC, the great thing about CIC is that no matter what project you want to take up, you always have someone to work under. We have really great mentors. You have already heard Shobha ma'am and Suprita ma'am. Apart from them, we have a lot of other mentors at CIC. What I have felt, I have had a lot of evolution ever since I joined here in 2011. For example, I have taken up a lot of research projects under a lot of mentors here, and the response has been great. I have been able to do a lot of projects, combine a lot of different subjects together to come up with one product or one kind of research. Then, other than that, I've also taken up courses on economics, so I have tried to amalgamate that with my knowledge in IT. But Latisha will be able to talk much better on the economics fund and management fund.
Now, when we are talking about management, so the current internship that we are doing right now on MSMEs, that the currently what we are doing is the IT enabling MSMEs. That has never been done before. So this is the first of the kind of initiative that our college has taken, and we are doing it in, like, we are IT enabling those MSMEs, and we are managing it so that they can have a better profits. This is one of the kind of a project that we are doing. Apart from that, the other project that we are doing in management, like what I did last year, I would like to mention that only. I did an FMS profit, like a research project on measuring the profitability of the Indian banks, and that is a huge, and I think that is a very good research topic. Like when you talk to my mentors in second year, you are pursuing such kind of projects. So our college provides you a platform where you can amalgamate, like she's mentioned, ki IT and the management aspect, and can have better things out of it.
Okay, thank you, Latisha and Madhulika. Now I probably move on to cover another topic that is in finance, and I have with me Nikita Garg, who has been greatly interested in finance, and let's try and know from her that what has been her base in trying to approach finance, and if one could really pursue it after doing a bachelor's from CIC. Nikita.
Hey. Hello everyone. I'm interested in doing finance, and my motivation for this subject actually came after I got enrolled in CIC. Here in CIC, you have so many choices, so diversity in your curriculum that you get a lot of chance to see which thing you like and which you don't. So, say we have economics to study, we have mathematics, we have IT. So now we have all the tools that we know are required in finance. We can simulate any situations. So that is what motivates us to work in the field. Though I am pursuing IT engineering, but I know how to fit IT into finance. I know how to fit mathematics into finance.
Could you probably give us an example of a project? I think you could just mention the one that you did with me, in which we tried to do that. And just to let the viewers know, I was absolutely away from economics, management, and finance to a certain extent. Only once, when she introduced me to finance, could I really understand that it was really an application of mathematics. And could you tell them about the planning commission project that we did?
So me and Sahil, we did a project in planning commission. The idea was to see, it's a mathematical model basically, where you see which government is investing how much money in various sectors of education and health, and how much is the outcome they are getting. So it's very simple. It's a regression model where we took some assumptions, and we found out an equation giving you various parameters. Say if we talk about the health of a state, on what basis do you say that people are healthy? On the basis of maybe crude birth rate, crude death rate, the investment made by the government in the same sector. So based upon those parameters, we get an equation, and we see how much you need to invest in various parameters to get how much output in terms of per capita income, per capita, what do you call it? National per capita product.
National net state domestic
product.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to move on to another person. He's a junior and he's just come in CIC. Dheeraj. Hi Dheeraj, आपको CIC में बुलाया था लेकिन ऐसा हो गया. So क्या लगता है? What do you think कि हमें how have you changed in CIC? क्योंकि लास्ट जब हम एक साथ ज्ञानोदय के एक ट्रिप पे गए थे, we were there's a concept called the Jnanodaya, which is basically college on wheels. It's a 1 week to 10 days immersion program, and you travel pan India visiting places. and doing projects on the train itself. And the train has about 1,000 students from the University of Delhi, and me and Dheeraj represented, and some of us from CIC represented CIC at the Gyanodaya. And I remember the first day, second day, third day, Dheeraj used to forget everything. He used to, and खूब डांट खाता था हमसे. And now, till the ninth and the 10th day, he became more and more responsible, more accountable. So Dheeraj, कैसी रही? How's your journey so far in CIC?
नमस्कार सबों को। सबसे पहले तो सीआईसी में आने के पहले तो मुझे बहुत कुछ पता नहीं था कि सीआईसी में मुझे खास करके क्या पढ़ना है, बट यहाँ के मैथमेटिक्स और इनोवेशन ये दो शब्द मुझे काफी आकर्षित करते थे। तो मैं यहाँ आया और जब मुझे पता चला कि यहाँ पर कुछ ग्रुप्स में, संकुल में लोग आपस में बैठ करके किसी भी परियोजना पर आपस में चर्चा करते हैं और उससे जो कुछ निकल करके आता है उसका स्तर पहले से पता नहीं होता किस स्तर का आप सोच सकते हैं। वो छोटा भी स्तर हो सकता है और बहुत बड़ा भी स्तर हो सकता है। क्योंकि यही जो परंपरा है सीआईसी की, वो मुझे काफी भाने लगी धीरे धीरे। और मैंने कुछ विद्युत चुम्बकीय प्रेरण पर काम करके मैंने जो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी की का जो अंतर्ध्वनि एक बहुत बड़ा एक उत्सव होता है, ठीक है, उसमें मैंने प्रेजेंट किया। और यहाँ पर जो एक सेमेस्टर लॉन्ग प्रोजेक्ट होता है उसमें मैं भी उसमें वर्क कर रहा हूँ। और ज्ञानोदय में भी मैंने काफी मतलब अपना बेस्ट वहाँ दिया है और उसका हालांकि परिणाम आने वाला, बट उसमें भी काफी संतुष्ट हूँ, मैंने अच्छा किया है। यहाँ पर टीचर से पूछने की इतनी आजादी है कि आप कोई भी टॉपिक उठाइए, वहाँ आप टीचर से बैठ करके काफी आप चर्चा कर सकते हैं। यहाँ की रोबोटिक्स सोसाइटी में आप अपने मन से कोई प्रोजेक्ट उठाइए और उसमें आपको सीनियर हेल्प करेंगे और खुद से आप जब तक आपको इच्छा हो आप बैठ करके आप पढ़ सकते हैं। और यहाँ की जो ह्यूमैनिटीज है उसकी खास बात यह है कि आप अपने मन से किसी भी कोर्स में दाखिला ले करके डीयू के अन्य कॉलेज में आप चाहे आपको पढ़ने का मन मैथमेटिक्स हो, पढ़ने की इच्छा आपको टूरिज्म की हो, या फिर आप सांकेतिक भाषा जो होती है आप उसमें आप एक्सेल कर सकते हैं जी। तो ये यहाँ का कोर्स मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैं इस कोर्स के लिए बना था, ये कोर्स मेरे लिए ही था। मैं यहाँ से पूरी तरह संतुष्ट हूँ।
थैंक यू धीरज। ह्यूमैनिटीज की बात करते हुए मैं सेशन को एक अपने तीसरे राउंड में ले जाना चाहूँगा, जहाँ हम कुछ स्टूडेंट्स बीटेक ह्यूमैनिटीज के और सुकृता मैम को वापस हमारे डिस्कशन में लाना चाहूँगा। So we have with us Asmita and Divyansh. Can you just excuse us and let Asmita sit here so everyone is on one screen? Ma'am, you can come here if you want to, since the discussion is mostly you three. So now what I want to know from the three of you is that that what is B.Tech Humanities? That's a very big question that everyone asks. Why B.Tech? Why Humanities? And I think ma'am can answer that. And then after ma'am's answer, I want Asmita and Divyansh to really tell me that have they been convinced with that answer in the 2 years you spent here at CS?
Yes, I think this is a very valid question to start with. But before we go into that, I think very quickly I'll just talk a little bit about what B.Tech Humanities is. Now, this is a degree which actually is based on, as the name itself suggests, it's really, we think of humanities in a big way as a kind of foundation to most knowledge. I personally believe that it is also the foundation to sciences and to technology. Unless one has a sense of what humanities is all about, then I think it's very difficult to engage with even technology. And in any case, technology and humanities are coming together in this course. So what are we talking about? B.Tech Humanities comes under the concept of a meta college. I think this is probably one of the very few, and in fact, I haven't come across anywhere in India at least, where you have a concept like that executed into practice, and which is like University of Delhi has more than around 70 colleges and more. And the idea was that all these resources that the University of Delhi has at the undergraduate level, all these resources should be pooled together, and in B.Tech Humanities, the pooling could be made use of by students who may want to pick up courses from any college wherever they wish to go to. It's not really the college as much as the course, but the structure of the course is such that in the first and the eighth semester, there are some core compulsory papers that they have to sit for, but in all their courses. But between the second and the seventh semester, they are every semester they pick up two papers of their choice, and two projects semester long have to be done. So that 50% of the course really is practical application, and the rest is theoretical knowledge. But they have a choice to keep going to different colleges. So it's not really one college. So of course, other institutions or the parent institution put it more in a gender neutral way. The parent institution is CIC, and we are all of us as faculty functioning as mentors. And within CIC, also they are free to choose and take subjects of, say, the other course that runs there at the undergraduate level, which is B.Tech Innovation in maths and IT. So some of them do that as well. They are at liberty to do it. Now, within the structure, they also have a choice to pick up a stream if they like, which is, we have 5 streams, which is art and design, historical tourism, education, counseling, and journalism. And journalism, yes, how am I forgetting that? Because many students actually want to opt for journalism as well. But we don't look at these things in a very narrow way. As I said earlier, our whole focus is on transdisciplinarity. Our whole focus is on holistic learning. So if somebody is offering to do or wanting to do journalism, we say that in journalism, only writing skills are not what is actually focused upon. What we really need to do is to also guide them to do other subjects of their choice, which can come into the content of what they are writing. So, for instance, it could be economics, it could be history, it could be philosophy. Need to go to ethics for that, and in our projects we have to make sure that there is social intervention. And social intervention wherein technology becomes a tool to be used in a very big way. So they have to learn to also use the technology in a proper way. So our students are, for instance, some of them are learning 3D modeling, others are doing other softwares in a very big way, so that they can bring in the use of what in the modern world today we know digital humanities are being talked about in a big way.
You mentioned about Vikalp, one of the students
yes.
did the...
yes. In fact, there are many things to mention, but one or two that I can mention here is that he prepared the language, not he actually, it is a group. Earlier it was only he who was interested in that project, but I'm so happy to say that there are other people who joined him, initially very reluctantly, but eventually as passionately as perhaps he himself is, for pursuit of languages rather. I know it's very the buzzword in India as well, as to how to realize the diversity of languages and cultures in our own country. And so what this group in particular did was, he prepared a flash application and showcased some rarely heard of languages in the capital. For instance, Ladakhi, for instance, Garo. And once we have about 10 languages that are kind of showcased, then we will definitely put them up on the web, and we have plenty to talk about in as far as other projects are also concerned. So as of now, I mentioned only one project, but yes, we do go along with the passion of the student, and if there isn't, we feel adequate motivation, then all of us are there to push and kick. We cannot beat them up, but push them into realizing that we have to make a difference to the society, and by doing that, we are making a difference to ourselves. This is the mandate.
Right. I absolutely agree with what ma'am said. So the entire idea is to bring about the consciousness and also delve that through the medium of projects that we do. And also, as ma'am has said, that under the meta college concept, we can choose our own courses and our own college. So Asmita, for example, I have an academic concentration in the side of management, and Asmita is pursuing it in economics. And we have been going to colleges such as SRCC, the Hindu college, and gaining those experiences out of the courses that we pursue. So it becomes an entire multi-dimensional scope in terms of education designing your own degree, which allows complete flexibility and independence, but also a responsibility that lays upon us to decide our future course of action in terms of our careers and the area of our academic specialization or concentration. Asmita? Yeah.
I think this course is about exploring yourself, because when we enter the college from 12th class, we're not sure of what we want to do. So this course especially gives us the opportunity to actually go and look for opportunities in different subjects. Like I started with doing papers in political science, and then I switched to economics. And then I think, why not do a combination of both the papers, both the subjects? So I thought I'll do something in political economy. And like ma'am said, that 50% of applied projects, if I tell what I've done different and diverse projects since my first semester. I've done paper projects in communication, the art of communication, which was mentioned which we were associated with Gandhi Smriti. So it was a very interesting subject, a very interesting project, because in the first semester we were taught how to collect data, and in different ways. The research methodology, which is very important in CIC, because everything is through projects. So the research methodology is taught to us in a very detailed way. And the best part of this course is that I do papers in theory, and then I have the chance to do it in practical by proposing projects which I really like. Like the recent project which we did was on elections, and we had a huge and a detailed survey which we conducted in Delhi University, and we had some results on statistics on what kind of interest Delhi University students had in politics, and what level of interest, and what were their preferences in other political and social issues. So it is really interesting to look in the books and actually see in the world.
Also, the best part is the hands-on aspect. We go there in the field, we do the research work ourselves, we take the surveys, we talk to people. So we get a lot of exposure in terms of the actual scenario and the practicality and pragmaticness of the situation, what it is actually all about, and what is the problem, and how we can, as students of B.Tech Humanities, help in finding a solution to that problem. Be it the Kusumpur Pahadi project, where we found out ways to provide water to the marginalized locality in the suburb of Delhi, and numerous projects. I personally have been involved into project that explores history through filmmaking, because my area of interest was filmmaking, advertising. So I am into all those projects, and Asmita is into different set of projects. So projects like these brings about an overall multi-dimensional, as I always say, and they make you a fuller student. You're not just limited to theory, you're not just limited to the practicality, but the best of many worlds. And in the internship aspect as well, I have interned previously at NTPC, one of the Navratna company of the government of India, where I worked on a CSR project and devised ways in which the company can find out, delve into newer ways of implementing CSR policies. I'm currently interning with the Hindu, and as a columnist intern, so I'm writing columns for them and interviewing people, and also, so I'm also exploring, while pursuing my own course, I'm also exploring my aspect of journalism and my ability to write as well. So this I think this is the best part of the course, allowing me the flexibility to explore my own avenues, my own strengths and my own weakness, which I can harbinger upon in the future, and make the best out of my ability, and make it my strength actually. This is some.
I remember in our first year we were really encouraged to have internships and go for internships. So I really started looking up to internships, and I found this NGO which was working in Meerut, which is a very backward area in Haryana. So I went up to them and I said that I'm a first year student of B.Tech Humanities. So can I have an internship? So I volunteered to assist a Canadian student there who was working on the she was identifying social barriers to using the filters, water filters. So it was very interesting. In my first year, I was 18 years old, and I was in the village collecting data, talking to people, interviewing people, and why I was comfortable in doing that, because I had already in my first semester learned how to take interviews, the research methodology. I really emphasis on the research methodology. Then I really I learned how to identify the social barriers. It's not just economical. It's India. We know that there are various social barriers. During that internship, I realized that I may be interested in the social and the gender issues that exist in India. So while doing internships, you realize what field you're interested in, and you want to go. And after doing, and many people ask, what do you want to do after 4 years of B.Tech Humanities? And I know I think I will be able to tell myself and the whole universe that I want to do I want to devote my life to a field that relates to women and gender issues. The second this year, so I applied. So I was very enthusiastic this time. So I'll do again. I'll not sit at home and I'll do an internship, because it is encouraged at CIC that you shouldn't waste your time, and you should actually go there in the field and apply your knowledge. So this time I'm interning at the Planning Commission under the Transport Division. So there I went there and I said I want to propose a project on the I wanted to trace the underdevelopment of inland waterways transport. So and my mentor, the advisor, said, there it is, I can do that project. So I'm doing that project and will be completing it in another week, sorry. So it's really it's a very the encouragement which the CIC mentors, not professors, mentors, which we have here. So it's really nice to have.
Special thanks to Dr. Subrita Paul Kumar, who has always helped us to find our own avenues and work on it.
Yeah, there's a lot of freedom, but there is also a lot of responsibility that you have to take here. Thank you.
All right. So before I go to Dr. Shobha, let me thank the entire panel here for to be able to help us out and the aspirants as far as humanities is concerned. I wish you all the best for your projects and internships. And Sukrita ma'am, thank you for your time.
Thank you,
I know
Sahil.
you have to rest for the meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sahil. Thank you very much.
Okay, Shobha ma'am, let me go to you. I have certain doubts from the aspirant side that need to be addressed. Ma'am, are you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, one of the questions that a lot of people really want to know is that how is the B.Tech in innovation with mathematics and information technology different from a B.Tech in information technology or a B.Tech in computer science from other institutes and universities in India?
Sahil, here the people are just talking about that how is, Shobha different from Sahil, how is Shobha different from Sukrita. There will always be similarities, there will always be differences between the two courses. The difference that we have over here, as we have already talked about, is the pedagogy, doing lots of projects, doing lots of real-hand problems. And of course, we do have what we call it as the theory work. There is a certain minimum theory work that the students need to finish. But we also want the students to spend their time to be, to do something which is, we call it as, think out of the box. So try out their hands in doing something innovative. We don't promise that every time you will be successful, because success is not something that you just try your hands, it's going to come automatically. You will have to try again and again, and the famous story that goes, Edison, I think he had around almost 100 years of, 100 times he tried, it was only after that he was successful in creating a bulb. So here the thing, we ask the students, that don't be scared to try out new things, don't be scared that, your marks will not be given. Think beyond the marks, think beyond the examination. Yes, that is an unnecessary evil that we have to do, because we are living in such a society that once when you go outside the institution, there is a certain degree, there is a certain marks that will be there. But our endeavor basically is to try to create a wholesome personality for a student. So if you are passionate about mathematics, you are passionate about IT, you are passionate about doing something with your hands, then yes, The course at CIC is for you, but if you want to walk, along the trodden path, then sorry. It's as simple as that.
True. Well, as I would like to reiterate one of the sayings by one of the quote by Steve Jobs, and he said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." And
Absolutely.
how does one of the major driving forces of CIC contribute in making leaders here?
See here, in fact, because there are lots of queries, that must have come to you also, that come to us also as teachers, that what after the course that we have finished at CIC, what
Right.
after 4 years, right? That's a common queries, that the students, the parents of the students are asking, which if you remember was there even in your mind, right? When you were the student, when you first entered CIC. But here the only thing that we would like to see is, don't worry what happens after 4 years. What is going to happen after 4 years, what is there in the future lies in your hand. The way you work, the way you apply the knowledge that you have acquired is totally in the hands of the students. Yes, then the question comes up, then what is the role of a teacher? The teacher is there to guide you. We have certain a little more experience than you are, but of course at CIC we call ourselves that we are also through a learning process. We are also learning alongside with our students, but we are also there to guide you. We are there to, that the students can carve their own path. I think some of you have already talked about the incubation center, because that is one of the major objective of Cluster Innovation Center, to create entrepreneurs, after
Right.
they finish their 4 years over here. And the challenge of walking along the untrodden path is, what drives you, what excites you. You're always excited, going through an unknown path. Yes, there is a certain fear. You may be successful, you may not be successful. But I don't think so that should be a detrimental thing in this.
Okay, there are a lot of queries as far as people are concerned. They're really worried about the fact that is CIC, AICT approved? Is the course valid? Should the person bother the aspirants while joining CIC?
The other thing is, any student should understand that if a student passes out of Cluster Innovation Center, whether they are doing B.Tech in Innovation with Maths and IT, or they are pursuing their B.Tech in Humanities, the
Right.
degree will be offered by the University of Delhi. The degree is not given by Cluster Innovation Center. The degree will be given by the University of Delhi. University of Delhi is a central university of India. So I think they should not have any apprehensions about whether this degree will be valid or not.
Right. Then there are queries as far as the entrance procedure is concerned. A lot of them are feeling that this course is an open learning course, and they could probably do it simultaneously, because as the prerequisite mentions that you have to take admission in some course of the University of Delhi. So could you please clear the admission procedure out so that they understand that it is a regular program?
Both the courses, both the undergraduate courses for which we are having the webinar today, are regular courses of Cluster Innovation Center.
Right.
You just need to consider that to take admission into Cluster Innovation Center, there are 3 screening processes. The first is that you should have taken admission into any regular course of Delhi University. For B.Tech Humanities, you could also be a student of School of Open Learning and Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board. But for B.Tech Innovation with Maths and IT, you have to be a student of any regular course of Delhi University. Once you have admitted over there, you can download our form. The forms can be downloaded this year from 24th of June to 24th of July. You fill in the form with the requisite fees. The details are all given, and the submission of the forms can be done by 24th of July, when you'll be getting your admit card. The second step in the admission is that you have to give a written examination. The written examination this year is on 27th of July. For B.Tech Humanities, the timings are 9 to 10. For B.Tech in Innovation with Maths and IT, the timings are 11 to 1. It's a 2 hours examination. The list of the shortlisted candidates will be put up tentatively about 31st of July. When students will be called for interview, so that's the third step. The students are interviewed, and then the combined benefit of the written examination and the interview is put up on the net, and then you can take the admission. The weightage of the written examination this year is 85%. The weightage of the interview is 15%, and the marks that the student acquires, it's all put up on the net, it's all transparent. And if you get admission into CIC, you take admission into CIC, you have to forego your admission at the University of Delhi. In no way can you pursue 2 degrees together.
Right. All right. Thank you for that clarification, ma'am. Another doubt that people asked was relating to accommodation of facilities that the University of Delhi does provide accommodation for both boys and girls. So if you could clear that out as well.
At CIC, we do have 16 seats in various hostels for boys, and we also have seats for girls in the hostels. But yes, since the number of seats are very less, and these 16 seats for boys are distributed for students of innovation in B.Tech in Innovation with Maths and IT and B.Tech Humanities. The condition that is put is that you have to be outside Delhi first of all, and outside the NCR region. Right? That's a constraint that we put because the number of seats are very limited, and then the seats are basically given according to the rank that they have obtained in the merit list for the entrance examination. For the girls also we have accommodation, but again for those girls who are outside the NCR region.
Could you also talk about the in case certain students want to really work after their 4-year program, in particular the B.Tech Innovation with Maths and Information Technology, are we aligned to the university's placement cell? Is there a procedure where the student, if he wants, can search for a job through the university?
Could you repeat? Are you asking about within the Delhi University or outside the University of Delhi?
No, I'm saying that in case a student who joins CIC under the program of B.Tech Innovation wishes to work after 4 years, so is by any chance the University of Delhi helping him in any sort of placement drive or job fair or things of that kind?
See, right now the first batch is yet to be out in 2015, but the Delhi University has a placement cell, and the students of CIC can register themselves at the placement cell of the University of Delhi. Right now, we are not having any placement cell at the Cluster Innovation Center.
Right. Then I would go on to probably one of the particular doubts a girl has. She's actually already enrolled in the University of Delhi in one of the colleges, and she has secured herself a seat at the undergraduate hostel for girls. Will she have to vacate her seat in case she joins CIC?
Yes, because in case she joins CIC, she forgoes her admission at that college. And as the University of Delhi rules, if you are not studying in a particular college, you cannot take, you cannot, you have to vacate the hostel seat for students who are, because she has taken admission into a particular course and a particular college. So
no. She's basically in the undergraduate hostel for girls, and this CIC also has a reservation of seats there in the same hostel. That's her doubt.
See, if she's in that same hostel, then she will get the accommodation in that hostel. Only thing is that she will get transferred from a student of X college to a student of Cluster Innovation Center.
Right. So her place will be under the quota of the seats that are being allotted for CIC. Okay. I think that's fairly with the queries. Anything you want to convey to the aspirants regarding preparation for the entrance exam or the interview? Would you be very harsh on the students for the interview? Would you keep them for half an hour? What are your tips?
Let me go to a simpler part first. That's the theory part. The entrance examination for B.Tech Innovation with Maths and IT, we keep asking the students just to prepare their 11th and 12th mathematics. Major weightage is given on mathematics, and when I say 11th and 12th mathematics NCERT, I'm not just talking about the methodology of solving questions and doing the exercises that are given at the end of each chapter, but also going through the concepts which are given prior to the exercises, because we do lay more importance on the concepts rather than doing an elimination round or doing being faster in calculation. That's not what our objective is. And even during the interviews, at least we feel we are not harsh on students. If the students feel we are harsh, we apologize for that. But the whole idea,
I don't think so.
To make them comfortable, to make the students tell more about themselves so that we can adjust it to what we are trying to ask from them from CIC. Our objective is that it's nothing to grill the students, nothing to make them demean them, nothing to make them feel that they know nothing about it. So I think we are quite gentle on interviews. I think Akshay over there is nodding his head, so he does agree with us.
Yeah, Sahil and I are good examples about it, I think. Sahil, you were the one whom I asked about before the interview, that how is it? And then he was the one who told me that the interview is fairly simple. The teachers are just there to ask about you. And it was really good. The interview, it's not at all tough. The teachers are...
Mine was tough. I was the first person to appear for the interview, but mine was a little tough. When I think one of the senior professors there, he said that I won't let you go, I won't let you leave the room unless you innovate the electric pump. And the only thing I could come up with was, sir, you can use it as a dynamo. So you put it in a river and you could generate electricity. And you're like, that's such a stupid answer. You have to sit for another 15 minutes to be able to do that. But in the long run, I feel that the CIC really search for an intellect of that sort, and it trains students for an intellect of that sort. It is not important to be knowing more than 2 or 3 programming languages, or it is not important to be doing an extra course in mathematics. But what is more important is the approach towards learning and the way you can use that approach in your everyday life. And I think that is the crux. I hope I'm not wrong, Shobha ma'am.
No, absolutely right. The interviews is basically to see, that can you think independently, can you think differently from others? Are you ready for that, to work with your hands? So that's the whole point of the interview, in fact.
Right. Okay, so I think we're almost on the last leg of our discussion, and I really need to, and I think I would fail in my duties if I don't. And I need to tell everyone of the general campus life that we students really enjoy at CIC. And for that, I need to go into the room where everyone is seated. Hi. Shobha ma'am says hi. Hi. So, and Akshay is also there. And I would also like to introduce you to the daughter of Professor Madan Chaturvedi here, who has been patiently tolerating us for quite some time now. We've been disturbing us. But I think this is what CIC is. This is what we really are. There is no gap between the teacher and the student here. and we are so comfortable that we would land up in our director's house to conduct the webinar in case the CIC campus doesn't open. And this is how we have stayed here in the college for so many years. Let's go to Nikita to really talk about. She stayed in a hostel for some time. Talk about the, and I think everyone should come in here. And did you guys from Delhi also? Yes, so you just join us. So tell our viewers that what are the happening places in around the North Campus. No. So I want everyone to have a discussion on that, please.
There are tons of places to eat at UTB Nagar, firstly. It's just down the corner, like 5-10 minutes away. And we often go there to eat whenever there's an occasion or even lack of occasion there. And other than that,
you stayed in campus, like you were earlier in the hostel, but now you've shifted to a PG. Is the campus safe for girls? I mean, how comfortable are you around the place?
Yeah, the undergraduate hostel for girls, it's very safe. It's a very beautiful campus, very beautiful hostel. And they have all sorts of facility for girls. And the campus area is very safe. You can roam around here late at night. There's a lot of police there. So no teasing, no such sort of thing happens there.
Okay. Yatharth. What to say? As CIC is in our campus, I don't think I need to say anything. You have all the colleges, every eating points, enjoying points, and what else? Even I myself feel addicted. I come daily to CIC from Vaishali, traveling around 1.5 hours daily. And even my friends say, "Tera ghar baar nahi hai," but I say, "No, I love CIC. I come, I do my projects over here, and it's good."
So I want viewers to know that over here at least, Nikita, Madhulika and I were part of this trek which went to Spiti Valley. We went to a height of 60,000 feet in probably the largest number possible. And I want Nikita to share her experience because probably she was the only underdog who was able to go effortlessly till 16,000 feet in a temperature of what, minus 12 degrees Celsius. So Nikita, how was your experience and what did you really gain from that?
It is seriously once in a lifetime experience. It is such an amazing trek, such a beautiful environment, and I never expected myself to actually complete the trek. Half of the group had to come back, half from halfway. But I decided to go there till the end, till the Baba Pass. And I think not every time or in every college you get an opportunity. You do have a lot of trips to some place nearby as well. But this type of trip, you can search about it, the Spiti trek, it's very difficult. And we went there without drills, and all of us, your unity as a team, your unity as friends come up at places like these. And if you come back, you feel like, yes, I'm stronger, yes, I can go there again. And this is much better than going to somewhere nearby for 1 night, 2 nights, just for hangout. That's much better than that.
So it's an interesting platform for me to tell Shobha ma'am, this is what Nikita said because she was not living in hostel. But for us, we used to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Abhijit sir and Ajay sir used to come down and give me a ring at 6 o'clock in the morning, take us for a 4-kilometer run, take us to the gym. You have to gym for half an hour. That was our preparation for the trek. But beyond the breaking your barriers, things like we tried making food. So for a person who never made food, I think I made the best food in the 70 period. So you really find your true identity and you really bond with people. So after really taking 20 kilometers in a day, when you're tired and you still have to, stress that extra 4 kilometers to reach your base camp, set up your tent there. That conversation between friends, that conversation between a student and a professor really enriches you and that stays with you for all your life. And this is what CIC is. No barriers, an open platform to engage yourself in a very, very intellectual and exciting manner. Do you want to contribute, Akshay and Chirag, on that? Chirag, let me go to you if you're there. I think he's not. Akshay, you want to contribute on that?
Yeah, Chirag is audible.
Yeah, okay. I'll go to Chirag. Yeah, Chirag. So that's his hostel room, by the way. Okay, I think he's not audible. But anyway, I think the viewers can have a look at the hostel. He doesn't have time to wash his clothes. Oh yeah, Chirag, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not my hostel, it's a friend's hostel.
Okay.
Well, they are beside me and they are lying lazily like on a lazy Saturday morning. So you just can't expect to wash the clothes early in the morning. So that's why it's hanging at the back.
That's okay. So Chirag, do you have to say anything about the campus life here?
Well, the campus life is beautiful. It has got its own vibe, that atmosphere of studying, that atmosphere of fun, bonding, friendship. It's all there. And moreover, all the canteens here in the campus serve good, sumptuous food with very reasonable prices. So that's one plus point of this campus.
Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Chirag must have felt that his friend's room looks better on a Sunday rather than his own room. So he's there in his friend's room.
But you wouldn't have found him, all clothes spread across his room. So okay, so that leads us to the food discussion. One favorite dish and one favorite restaurant on campus.
I would not talk about any restaurant. I would talk about the CIC canteen that was initiated by our college people. It's the awesome that Abhaya.
Bhel Puri from CIC canteen. By the way, CIC canteen is run by the students themselves. There is no contractor that runs the canteen. Madhurika.
I've been to so many places, but I still love the convenience of going to the CIC canteen and having sweets.
CIC canteen +2. Okay, Nikita.
No CIC canteen. I think I like BYD.
Okay, BYD is Big Yellow Door.
I've been to Big Yellow Door just once, and the food is really awesome. So you must visit. It's a must visit.
Canteen is the best.
See, I think Guire Hall canteen is a great place to be at. You can have those yummy parathas any time of the day and those shakes and stuff. I think the Guire Hall canteen is great, but the CIC canteen is unbeatable.
Okay, so I think that's all from CIC for webinar 2014. Thank you all for joining in, and thank you, Didi. I think you should be here. Professor Madan Chaturvedi's daughter, she was studying and we disturbed her also. So the entire house is in a mess. But thank you all viewers for watching us. Thank you panelists for coming in. And thank you Professor Chaturvedi for giving your house for this webinar. Thank you so much. Signing off.
Thank you, Sahil, for organizing a webinar. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was an excitement to be, to be in such a technical mess today.
That's all being innovative about, na?
Absolutely. Yes.
Great work.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye, Akshay.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, my bag wasn't working the entire time.
That's okay. All right. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.